Oh my God, it's been a minute since we've talked about social media. If you're new here, my name is Ty. I'm 31 years old. I live in New York City. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Social Media Sessions, where we figure out how to grow and build engaged communities on social media. I'm super excited to film this for you guys because I love talking about social media. I love all things social media, strategy, helping build following, and helping people better understand how exactly to navigate this digital space, because social media is an ever-changing thing, okay? What may have been popping one day may not be popping another day. What may be good on one platform may not be good on another platform. So in episode 1 on Social Media Sessions, we're going to talk about how to become a successful influencer in 2025. And as a person that has had brand deals, been invited to movie premieres, has launched their own business, and on top of that offers social media coaching sessions, I think I'm the perfect person to talk to about this. So sit back, relax, grab either a water, a matcha, some wine, tequila. My drink of choice today is going to be a Sprite in my favorite cup. And we're going to sit down and we're going to get into it. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe to the channel. Turn those post notifications on. We drop videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if you love videos like this, social media sessions, we drop these every Wednesday. So come back for episode 2. But let's get into episode 1. How to become a successful influencer in 2025. Okay, so becoming an influencer in 2025 isn't just about posting content, okay? It requires strategy, consistency, adaptability, creativity. There are so many things that go into becoming an influencer in 2025. And I think that we need to talk about it. And the reason why we need to talk about it is through having conversations like this, we gain clarity on how exactly we can move when it comes to embarking on this journey. So let's say you decided that 2025 was your year. It's the year that you're gonna get brand deals. It's the year you're gonna go on brand trips. It's the year that you're going to launch your business. It's the year you're gonna get that large YouTube plaque. It's on the vision board in the background. This is the year. You've decided, it's done. It's set in stone. Now what? You've made the proclamation, but what exactly do you have to do to make that a reality? Well, number 1, we have to figure out who you are and what you do. But I like to reverse it. I want you to show them what you do, and they will ask you who you are. A lot of us, we have a habit of stepping on social media and saying, you know what? I'm going to post like I'm an established influencer. I'm going to bring them along in my life. I'm going to show them everything that's going on with me, and that should be enough. And the thing is, we don't know you. We don't know you. We don't know anything about you. Let's say you're on the street and someone just kind of walks up to you and starts talking to you like they know you. Isn't that a little weird? That's how it is when you just start creating content with no plan of action. Now, I don't want you to confuse this to be niching down, but I want you to be intentional about how exactly you're presenting yourself online. What are you genuinely passionate about? What can you talk about non-stop? What do you have an expansive amount of knowledge about that you believe someone will benefit from? If you like to cook, maybe you're really good at cooking, so maybe you want to make cooking content. If you like to do wigs, maybe you want to do styling videos on how exactly to lay down wigs or how to choose wigs. Maybe you love doing makeup, so maybe you want to do beauty tutorials or how-to videos, more educational content on that particular subject. When I got into doing social media, I went with the premise of showing them what you do, and they'll ask you about who you are. And I started with beauty. If you guys don't know me, back in 2017, your girl was hot on Instagram, okay? I went viral. I went to bed one day and woke up with like 10,000 followers off of one video alone. And I've done it several times since then. I started with just making beauty videos because that was where my interest was at. I could talk about makeup all day. I just became a makeup artist. I was working at MAC, and I realized that the women that were coming into the store were asking about things, and people on social media were not really giving informative content about how exactly to do certain techniques. And those videos went viral, and I was able to cultivate a following, and I continued to create that kind of content, because that passion is going to establish something I like to call baseline content. Baseline content is the content that you create consistently, that when people step on your page, they know exactly what to expect and what they're going to be seeing from you. But what can you consistently do that you're passionate about, that you love? That's where you need to start. In order for you to be a successful influencer, you have to like what you're creating, and you have to be passionate about the things that you're talking about. Me, I love doing this. I could talk about social media all day until I'm blue in the face. It's my thing. But for some people, this is not their thing. So after you figure out what you're passionate about, the next thing you have to think about is, what type of content do you want to create? Is it going to be educational? Is it going to be entertaining? Is it going to be storytelling, to where you can actually cultivate a community? After we figure out what kind of content we want to create, I want you to think about your platform. There's so many social media platforms outside of TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. There's Snapchat, there's Twitch, there's Reddit. There are so many different types of platforms that you have on social media. And I want you to think about who you are as an individual. Are you a yapper? Maybe TikTok is the place for you to be. Do you have a lot of thoughts you like to write down? Maybe Reddit may be the place that you want to be. Do you like to take really pretty photos and capturing a moment? Maybe Instagram is where you want to be. Or do you like long form content? Maybe YouTube is where you want to be. But you have to figure out your platform. But I want you to take some time to really think about who you are and what platform complements that. I talk a lot, so the platforms that really resonate with me are TikTok and YouTube. But I also like to take very pretty, visually aesthetic photos. So Instagram is also a place where I get to be creative in that way. My social media ecosystem is something that complements my personality. So I want you to think about your personality and think about what platform complements your personality. And then from there, you can figure out how exactly you want to show up on those platforms. Because sometimes the reason why people are not finding social media success isn't because they aren't doing enough. It's because they're on a platform that they don't feel like themselves on. Sit with that. Clock it, because that right there, once you figure out what platform you want to be on, now you have a clear vision on what you want to do next, but all about your social media strategy. You're probably wondering, what the hell is a social media strategy? A social media strategy is a very intentional plan of action. But I do social media strategy and consulting. I help content creators and small businesses establish their digital footprint on social media. So if you are looking to have a consultation, if you would love to have a consultation with me, please feel free to email me. I have all of my information in the description box down below. I have an agency called The Creative Reality, and I would love to help you figure out how to grow on social media in an organic way. I want you to think about your social media strategy. Your social media strategy is just a plan of action. And if you want me to give you a full breakdown of what a social media strategy is, drop some thumbs up down below, and I'll make sure I make a video about that. But when it comes to social media, especially successful influencers on social media, success isn't random, it's strategic. There's a strategy in place. There's a strategy in place that they have when it comes to establishing themselves online and furthering their community while simultaneously connecting with the community that they have. If you want this to be a career, you have to have a strategy in place. You have to. In the beginning, you don't have to, because you're feeling everything out. But once you decide to commit to this, you need a strategy. You need a plan of action, a posting cadence. You need a content calendar. You need to make sure that you know exactly how you're going to tackle social media so you can be successful. And if you want a video on how exactly I make my content calendar, put a okay emoji down below and we'll make a video about that. So now we're going to talk about posting cadence. For me and my YouTube channel, for me to see the growth that I want to see, I decided to post 3 times a week. For some people, that's too much. It's a lot, but it's what I want. Because on my vision board back there, I want that YouTube play button. That's my goal. I want the YouTube play button. I want my channel monetized. So in order for that to happen, I have to show up more consistently on YouTube. Next thing we want to talk about. We're going to talk about SEO and hashtags. Hashtags, some people say that they're outdated. Some people say that they're not outdated. I am open to both. That hashtags are beneficial. I don't think you should overload your content with hashtags. I think you want to just choose 5 hashtags that are relevant to what you're talking about and leave it at that. Because at the end of the day, you just want to be discoverable. You want people to find your content. You want to make sure that you're landing on the right For You pages. And hashtags are a vehicle to make that happen. Also, SEO. I want you to think about SEO the way you would Google something. Maybe your YouTube video should be how to do wand curls for beginners. Like, that's what I want you to think about when it comes to your SEO. Your SEO is just your discoverability. How are people finding you? So I want you to be really intentional with that, especially when it comes to your educational content. But another thing too, if you don't like this, because this is when we get to the nitty gritty of it, if you don't like SEO and you don't like hashtags, you can always use ChatGPT. You can always use ChatGPT. And if you want a video on how exactly to use ChatGPT to find hashtags and SEO for your social media, put some heart emojis down below. Content calendar paired with the social media strategy is how I am going to be successful in 2025, and you will be too. We're going to talk about polishing as you go. The beginning of becoming a successful influencer, there's going to be a lot of throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks. Also known as A/B testing. You're going to throw some ideas out. You're going to see which ideas stick and which ideas flop. And let me tell you something. A lot of your ideas may flop, and that's okay. You just know what doesn't work. When you start to create a plan of action and you're doing your social media thing, I want you to commit to that strategy and that content calendar that you have. Did you hear me? You need to commit to your strategy for at least 30 days before you decide to pivot onto something else. I can't tell you how many times I see someone who has pivoted too soon. Like, they've missed their area of opportunity. They've missed that moment where they could really expand upon that topic because they're looking for a viral moment. Virality should not be the goal. Connection should be the goal. I want you to use virality as a tool. The pivoting too soon, the trying to deviate from the plan, trying to leave the social media strategy behind because you're not seeing immediate success is the reason why you're not going to be successful in 2025. And in order for you to be successful, you have to stick to the plan. There's no time for freestyling. Stick to the plan. And we incorporated spontaneity in the plan. Another thing that I really cannot stress enough, profile optimization matters. As a person who's been on the receiving end of brand deals and also has been the person that's reached out to people to look for them for brand deals, the reason why a lot of you guys are not getting brand deals isn't because your content isn't good enough. It's because your bio fucking sucks. You got God first, basketballs, a random quote from the Bible, and your zodiac sign, and you're wondering why brands can't find you. Your bio needs to be optimized. Your email should be in your bio. Your location should be in your bio. The type of content you create should be in your bio. So brands are looking for you, because I've been the girl that has casted influencers for brand deals. They type that into Instagram and they wait and they see who pops up. Those people that are popping up, their bios are optimized so we can find you. You get the point. So you want to make sure that you're findable. So your bio should have your first name, your last name, your location, your email, the type of content that you create. That's it. Because that's the reason why you're missing these dollars. You're missing these dollars because your bio is not optimized. So please prioritize that. Last but not least, make sure your branding is consistent across all platforms. There should be a consistent flow from one platform to another. It may not have to be exactly identical, but I should be able to see that common thread. Okay, so keep that in mind. Make sure that that flow is consistent. Talk about money. We're going to talk about the reality of monetizing as an influencer in 2025. Most influencers do not make their money just off of brand deals alone. I want you to think about brand deals as supplemental income. Think about it as that nice little cash injection. You want to make sure as an influencer in 2025 that you're diversifying your income streams. You're doing affiliate marketing like an Amazon storefront, an LTK. That you're selling digital products, whether that be ebooks, templates, courses. That you're also doing YouTube AdSense, like your content is monetized. Don't be afraid to join these creator programs. It's free money. You're already posting on social media. Why not get paid for it? So I want you to keep that in mind. A lot of us may think that the goal is brand deals, but the goal is to create a financial ecosystem where the majority of your funds are coming from the products that you create and sell, that you sell in your sleep. Digital products, courses, one-on-one coaching, All of that is on you. On top of that, if you can create your own revenue streams, you can also leverage that when it comes to you working with brands to show them that you actually have a really good conversion rate, that you actually can bring in sales. Keep that in mind. Biggest thing I want to make very clear when it comes to being an influencer in 2025, I want you to start monetizing early. Monetize early. The sooner you build multiple streams of income, the faster you can become financially independent. So make sure that when you decide to attach your name to something, that is something of value. Okay, so the last talking point is mastering longevity, avoiding burnout, and staying relevant as an influencer in 2025. Going viral is not the goal. Sustainable growth is. When it comes to sustainable growth, you actually have people that are like locked in with you, that know you, that care about your journey and your growth. You also have to be prepared for the slow month and plateaus. It happens. And that comes with the territory of social media. Sometimes you won't gain any followers for like 3-4 months, but it does not mean that you're failing. The biggest piece of advice that I think I can give, because I've given a lot of advice, but I think the biggest one is to avoid comparison syndrome. Started out as an influencer on Instagram. I had such a great time. I was on so many brands PR lists. I was having such a good time. And then I started to socialize with other influencers, and they were like, yeah, this brand is paying me this much. This brand is paying me that much. I'm like, oh my God, y'all getting paid? Like, you know that movie with Meet the Millers? It's like, oh, you're getting paid? That's how I felt. I was like, oh, y'all are getting paid for this? Oh. And then it just like, it really hit my confidence. It was just like, well, why are they getting paid and I'm not getting paid? You know, like, well, what do they have that I don't have? And then it's like I took my eyes off my own paper and started to deviate from my path because I was comparing myself to other people. But now that I've kind of like understood, like, number one, I know my value, I know my worth. Number two, that at the end of the day, when it comes to this industry, everybody's just trying to get the most amount of work for the least amount of money. So it's not personal. It's not personal. Number three, closed mouths don't get fed. And I had to learn that by way of experiencing what I experienced. But comparison syndrome literally stifled me and made social media a not enjoyable place for me. So when I kind of like started to put my focus back on what I can control, the comparison syndrome went away. Stop looking at the person to the left of you and looking at the person to the right of you. The reason why they're getting further and farther ahead of you is because they're focused on their own paper. Put your fucking head down and get to work. You got shit to do. But keep your eyes on your own paper. That's the best advice I can give you, because they are not you. Thank you. Learn new skills. Video editing, storytelling, trend forecasting, things like that. The more you fall in love with the process, the numbers will follow. But I need you to be so engrossed in this and have so much fun exploring this that when you look up, you're like, holy shit, we hit 250,000 followers on Instagram. Like, it happens. Trust me. Like, stay adaptable, but true to your brand. You want to be able to show that you're versatile. Like, you want to be able to show that you're a three-dimensional being. Like, I'm not just a girl that does makeup. I'm not just a girl that talks about social media. I'm not just a girl that talks about her feelings. I do a lot of different shit. And I love that I do a lot of different shit. And I want you to know that I do a lot of different shit. But I'm adaptable. Everything that you guys are seeing on social media is just an extension of something that I'm really passionate about. That's why I'm sharing it with you guys. So remain adaptable, but stay true to your audience. Okay, speaking of audience, engage with your audience. Do not be a cold content creator, a cold influencer, a person that drops content and then bounces. Respond to your comments, engage with your community, thank them for being there. Because at the end of the day, although this is a video, technically this is a conversation. So whatever you write down in the comments, it's my responsibility to engage with you because I'm the one that started the conversation. The least I can do is keep the conversation going in the comments. Okay? Last but not least, there's a difference between the influencers who last and the ones that don't. And the thing that sets them apart is that they keep going even when they feel like shit is not working. They keep going. Your mind will tell you that this ain't shit, nothing's working, you're failing, you're not good enough. Your mind will tell you all these things. You have to learn how to drown out the noise and push through it anyway. You have to do it even when you feel like things are not working. You have to do it even when you don't fucking feel like it. You have to do it because you owe it to your future self to get that life that you have on your vision board back there. You owe it to that person to show up and do the work so they can have the things you can't stop thinking about. So please, the thing that separates influencers that have it and the ones that don't is that they do it even when they don't feel like it, and they do it even when they feel like nothing is working. So keep going. I'm gonna leave you with some closing thoughts. Okay, so let's get into it. To succeed as an influencer in 2025, you need a clear passion and platform that you want to express that passion on. You need a strategic plan for execution. You need a commitment to consistency and optimization. You need a monetization strategy beyond just brand deals. Remove that from your mind. Change that train of thought and understand that there are so many other ways that you can eat this year. You need a long-term mindset to avoid burnout and to stay relevant. But you're going to have to prioritize doing the work by just putting the reps in and understanding that the long way is the way that you win. Committing to the long game. But I hope this video gave you some insight on how exactly to approach becoming an influencer in 2025. I hope it shows you that it's not impossible. It takes a plan, hard work, dedication, commitment, and knowing when to pivot and when to stay. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 1 of our social media sessions. If this video was helpful, please let me know down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. Subscribe to the channel. Turn your post notifications on. All of my information is in the description box down below. I can't wait to see you guys next week, Wednesday. Thank you for coming to a social media session.